Alright guys, welcome back. Crappie Connection here. Justin Berry, got my sidekick.
Brad Chappell
Brother
here.
from another mother right there, boy. We are at the 2019 Grizzly Jig Show here in Crowsville, Missouri, and we got Wade Mansfield right here. Wade, welcome, man.
Hey, glad to be here. Having a big time.
So, tell us, how's it been so far?
Really, everything's been great. We've had a lot of people come through the store, a lot of product go out the door, tons of pros. I mean, you know, a lot of these guys come in to see everybody, and anybody that's in crappie fishing's here.
Absolutely.
And it's been really really nice. It's been a good year. So
Yeah, we was talking just a while ago before we went on air. What's the furthest you seen somebody come in from, you say?
yep, we had the Wyoming and North Dakota,
Wow.
Colorado. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, that is.
That's a very big feather in your cap, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Like I told you, I'd really love to take all the credit, but some of these guys, they do plan this show with their duck hunts over Reelfoot, which still makes it good for us. It's kind of, it works in and out, but they don't have many chances to get down here, but they do order a lot of stuff over the internet. So them coming over, they'll plan the whole week. They'll spend most of their mornings duck hunting, and they spend afternoons with us. So
You talk about a lot of orders on the internet. What was the most sales? School us on the sales of how Grizzly does versus the catalog versus the internet. What's your input on all that?
really, I wish I could just break it down by piece, but we actually just base everything as brick and mortar, not internet sales and not catalog. Those are grouped together. Probably a quarter of our business is the walk-in type stuff where guys come over, and I'm including probably some of the wholesale in that because we do have a lot of jobbers that come in. But then the rest of it is definitely all coming via phone or the internet. And you see the internet getting bigger because when we look at the numbers, I was surprised every time we run it to find out that 57% of my customers order off their cell phone.
And you know why? I can tell you it's pretty simple. You've got every single thing a crappie fisherman would want. I don't know anything that I would want as far as crappie fishing in my boat or my tackle box that you don't have.
Yeah.
That's true.
And we
That's
base,
not easy.
Yeah, we base that off of the actual guides, just like yourself, customers. What do we not have that you want or you need or anything like that? Where, some of the big box places where you go in there and you talk to whoever's managing that department and say, "Oh, I'm looking for these jigs,"
And they can't get them.
and they just say, "Well, sorry, man, we
It's
ain't got
like
'em."
colors. I mean,
That's
Bobby
it.
Garland colors.
Yep,
I've been with Bobby Garland a long time, and every year we're coming out with new colors, and that's the hardest thing for some of the consumers to find, except at Grizzly Jig.
Yeah.
They've got it.
Yeah.
It's ready.
You talk to anybody, they say, you got to call Grizzly. They got everything.
And that's the benefit for both of them because they do have an outlet to get it.
Yeah,
Unlike
it's
the
easy.
rest of them with Bobby Garland, we don't just do the 40 colors of the baby shad, and we don't do just 20 colors of the strolar. We do all the colors. We have them every year. They come out with a new one, and that's what I told the guys there at Bobby Garland. I said, "Look, you see how my section's laid out. We've already full.
Yeah.
So now I'm having to shift something because I don't have enough pegs to take care of all those colors for just that one bait."
Yeah.
Well, it goes from hooks to poles, fishing poles, crappie poles. I mean, there's so many different crappie poles out now. I mean, your pole room in there is just full of poles, and believe me, everybody's really shopping them too.
And I didn't realize we had that many, but once we put a lot of that stuff on the computer, I mean, we have over 7,000 different SKUs of poles.
Wow. Some of them you see right behind us, you got a tip section right here. Boy, Charlie Bunton was coming here the other day, or the whole time we've been here, and just grabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has definitely sold some pole
Hey,
tips.
that
You
guy
will
right
see
there.
that on all these episodes, how many pole tips Charlie Bunting has sold.
Charlie has been a valuable asset for us this week.
Yeah.
He came down a few days early, hung out, we ate. He worked just like we
Right.
were. Yep.
I definitely see with that man. He loves
That
it.
must how he keeps him young,
I-
because he was. We unloaded a container. We had a container right there before, and he was right in there with me.
There's no doubt in
Every
my
piece.
mind.
Yep.
Tell us about some of the hot products for this year that you're seeing in your store.
Well, the new, we seen this at ICAST, the RTD line threader.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because when we were there going around, they were basically just focused on the bass people.
Correct.
He's got 4 bass pros over there, and they're running it and talking about how it could help them get back in the water faster. And I found Big T. I said, come over here and follow me. Look at this. This guy's talking. So me and Big T went over and we got one. And we went and got a pole, and we skinned a 16-foot pole in just a second. Just like that. And I said, they're focusing on the wrong people here.
Exactly. Crappie
Absolutely.
fishermen got a lot more poles than bass guys do, in my opinion.
Yeah,
The key is the longer poles.
Longer, twice as many eyes, and the demographic, even with some of the guys not being able to see real well, I mean, it just makes it easier for them. And you could do it any way. You can stand it up, lay it down, or whatever, and it adapts to pretty much every guide in crappie fishing. I think I could only find one pole out of all the poles that it didn't work on the super micro guides that some of them came out with. But other than that, it did them all.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What else you got there?
The fin spin, it was a new product that Jeff at Crappie Magnet came out with. I was really surprised with the darter head. I knew quite a few people down in Mississippi used it, but you know, sometimes it's kind of like a fad thing. But we've had these for a couple of years, and really this year the heavier sizes had really jumped on it. I think it's because of the power trolling. A lot of the bladed jigs have seemed to ramp back up, because before it was all just Roadrunner. That's all everybody knew was Roadrunner, Roadrunner. Now, I mean, you've got 20 different kinds of bladed jigs. And I'm still saying the heavier ounces will be the most popular, or still the most popular, and I think it's because power trolling. The new Bobby Garland stuff, new baits and colors, the Slab Hunter, we got Bobby Garland sent us everything except for one color, and we probably already sold out of 50% of every bit of the stuff. And then Waldo, the Add-A-Hook, I mean, I have to say, it's almost like the shoelace type thing. As many wires that we made for crappie rigs. Now, you got to remember how long crappie rigs have been around. And how many wires that we've sat there and run and spun. I don't know what we were thinking, but we weren't thinking about this, because that is just, I mean, it's slick.
It's game changer.
I mean,
I like that.
It's just right there, and we've really moved a lot of them because the same thing. And everybody, we're all doing the same thing. Man, I can't believe I didn't think of that.
I know exactly right.
It happens every year.
Every time. So those are some of the main. The in the pole market, it's been good across the board. There has been some changes in the market that where people's move from one side to the other, but still, if you look out the door, trolling poles are probably 90% of what's going out the door.
Trolling poles are 90% going out your door.
Well, I mean,
right now.
y'all see it. I mean, it's most guys pretty much 90%, and the other ones is basically the jigging people. You know, the jigging rods. But you have to also look at it. When a jigging guy buys a pole, he's only buying one. When a trolling guy buys, he's buying 4 or 8. So
Right. Tell us a little bit about how many years you've been doing this now.
Unofficially, 20 years. Probably the actual show part of it for 17. And you can probably remember back before we actually started calling it the show, in 98, when my dad and Scott Stafford had won, had the largest catch ever in any national tournament anywhere. They had the fish done.
What was that weight?
20, almost 24 pounds.
Where at?
Arca Butler.
24 pounds.
Not shocking there.
Yeah. So that was a big thing. So, you know, they were all pumped up. A lot of people were wanting to know how they did it. And I think it was more about they didn't have many tournaments in Mississippi. So for them to go down there, and once you look at the screen, and, you know, there wasn't a lot of internet back then where everybody was watching weigh-ins. As all the magazines came out and you seen these fish, and it's like, now how many times you ever fished a tournament and caught 3-pound fish? I mean, it was unheard of then. So we had so many people asking us to bring the displays to their area for them to come and talk and stuff like that. They went to, I think, Collinsville, Illinois. They had like over 100 and something people sitting in their seminar wanting to see how they caught those fish. So we talked about it and said, hey, why don't we just do it here? That way we don't have to travel, because Dad didn't like carrying that big display. We called Ronnie and Steve, and they come over, and you remember a guy named Bert Bennett? He used to fish with his kid at Crappie USA circuit. He was another pro. So 5 pros, and we had a 2-day event. Probably had 300-400 people, and we thought that was the biggest thing ever. You know,
300-400 people. Now how many people you saying?
Yeah, 5,280 probably in 4 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much has the sport changed in your time frame?
To me, it seems a lot, just because looking at it, my dad was already in fishing, you know, professionally in the crappie deal, and when I used to go to the things, we'd see aluminum boats, just aluminum. You know, everybody. You didn't start seeing a fiberglass boat. Now you cannot go to any tournament where there's not already 150 boats in a tournament, and 150 of them are all fiberglass.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, except me.
But in that sense, is if you were still fishing, you know that's where you want to be.
Right.
So that's where it's going to take you. I mean, it's just like NASCAR or anything like that. If somebody's getting beat all the time with a different set of tires, eventually you're going to want the same set of tires that they have.
Right.
So I mean, it seems to have a little more glamour. I was worried that it might dip down just because of like the internet, because it was kind of like when eBay first came out and everybody sold all their stuff that was in their garage on there. Well, it's not even like that anymore.
Right.
You know, different avenues. The internet's changed. I think when Amazon came out, all they sold was books. I mean,
I remember that.
It was a book deal.
I remember that.
They found an efficient way to move books through the mail. Okay, let's throw a
light bulb.
That's it. And then it was easy. So I think that's the way it's going. I can tell you from my sense that I didn't want to see it go there, but like we even own a magazine company. I mean,
What's the name of it?
Crappie Angler. Okay. And it just doesn't, the older guys, I mean, we got 2,500 subscribers. Every one of them are over the age of 50. Everything else is straight on their phone, online.
Now, how long have you been in this building we're in right now? Is this where it originally started?
No, we were actually down the street. We had a smaller building. We expanded. We started it in 91. We moved here in 93.
And now you're planning to make another move?
Yes. Yep. We had bought another facility across town. The main reason because we had already had a warehouse that we leased from the city that kept us
stocked.
That's it. And we had guys that's all they did all day was load up, go pick it up, bring it back unload. We were handling it so many times that it was getting to the point where it was getting tough, especially when you get a lot of orders. So
yeah.
You got any questions, Brad?
No, man. We've had a blast here, and man, we're looking forward to showing everybody all these different pros that we've got and sit down with, and for our viewers out here and listeners, and I thank you guys for allowing us to do it.
Thank you so much.
It was one of those deals when you called and said do it. I said this would be a great platform to elevate this type of level of stuff. You know, we've seen a lot of that stuff out there, but kind of keeping it in that crappie, you know, mainly like what we do, is just something a mainstream, so you could sit there and if you wanted to watch it or you heard something, because you're gonna, as long as you're in the loop, you're always gonna know what the new stuff
you're gonna
is.
be on the edge.
Even for me, because now knowing that y'all are gonna stay out there and hit these different people and talk to them, I'm gonna pick up the phone and say, hey Justin, anybody, what are they talking? Is everybody wanting to use bait casters now, or what do you think about slime line? You know, I see it's kind of picking up momentum in our area. Do you see it down south? I mean, it'll help me to service customers and stuff, just kind of knowing.
I didn't think about that. It's a good tool.
It does.
Good
I mean,
tool for yourself.
It goes back to the Crappie Connection.
That's right.
Everything's connected with this fishing community. In my mind, is everything's connected, and like I said, we really appreciate you giving us a little spot, and our viewers and everybody else will see how busy this store is in the warehouse.
That's what's bad. The worst place we could put you was in the cold warehouse because we didn't have enough room. Just think if we could have had it out there.
The
only thing is everywhere you can hear anything. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's so much.
It's worked great,
It
though.
does.
It's
That's
worked
good.
real great. I'm just happy to be here, and again, I appreciate everything. Is there anything you want to add to all the viewers that's listening? in,
No,
tuning in?
just like I said, I appreciate the staff, all of y'all. Appreciate all our customers, everybody that came out, and we want to keep growing it. And we just, if anybody you hear anybody has any info, any comments, hit me up. They can email me, text me, like us on Facebook, and message me, and we'll try to get it there. I know. I appreciate y'all.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. Other than that, Justin Berry,
Brad Chappell here.
and we got Wade Mansfield here, Grizzly Jig, 2019, Crothersville, Missouri. Y'all check them out. The largest crappie store in the world, right here. Make an order, phone call. You heard it. Phone call, internet.
Anything you need.
Anything you need. Pick up the phone. These guys will talk to you just like you're right in front of their face. They'll tell you everything. Other than that, we're out of here.
All right, holler.
Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift away.